at you, Train Some World 4. Feel free to hit me up in the comments. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Click the link below this video, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell notification to know when my next upload is. And yeah, anyway, hit that bell notification and to find out when I'm live next. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and it will help out my channel. And yeah, let's get into Train Some World 4.
Welcome to Bregenz Bahnhof, located in Vorarlberg, the westernmost state of Austria. The original station began construction in
Why is it not coming up? Oh,
1870. Although this was demolished 30 years ago, in 1989, before the station was rebuilt 500 meters west of the original location. Looks like the workers haven't finished placing the route maps. There are more route tasks to discover. Make sure to apply more route maps, fix snow height poles, and collect chocolate bars and Tyrolean hats. Your colleague, David Meyerhofer, would like to speak to you.
Well, it won't move. Dum-dum.
Take a seat. The train is just about to leave. The Vorarlberg Railway was first proposed by railway entrepreneur Karl Ganal in 1847, when he recognized the necessity for a railway in the area. He would go on to pay for much of the preliminary work out of his own pocket. Construction began in 1870 and met many delays due to needing approval from all the neighboring states in the area. Finally, in 1872, public services began between Bludenz and Lochau. Shortly after, in 1873, connections to the wider Austrian railway network were completed, and services between Zurich in Switzerland and Munich in Germany would use this line. In 1954, electrification work on the line was completed, although electric trains couldn't pass into the German rail network. This meant passengers and international services to Germany had to change to a diesel service in Lindau. Take the train to Austria. Spanning cross-border, the busy Vorarlberg S-Bahn line shuttles from quaint German island life to the foothills of the Austrian Alps. All new and bustling ÖBB traffic awaits in Train Sim World. In this training module, you'll be learning how to drive this ÖBB 4024 electric multiple unit. For this introduction, you will be driving the train a short distance and performing passenger operations. The ÖBB 4024, also known as the Talent, is manufactured by Bombardier and entered service in 2004. The name Talent is an acronym in German for Talbot, leichter Nahverkehrstriebwagen, meaning Talbot, light suburban railcar. The ÖBB 4024 is a 4-car unit with a top speed of 140 km per hour. Now set the reverser to forward. Set the headlights to indicate that this train is operational. Insert the train brake handle. First, release the brakes applied by the train brake handle. Open the passenger doors to allow boarding. The ÖBB 4024 is part of Bombardier's Talent series of multiple units, manufactured by Bombardier Talbot. More than 300 Talent series vehicles have been produced and have seen use in more than 7 different countries. To release the brakes and apply power, push the handle away from you. Now you've built up some... Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed and reduce motor stress and maintenance requirements. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force by moving the master controller into the braking range. you're now approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force by moving the master controller into the braking range. Nice job. The train has safely come to a stop. Close the doors and drive to the next station unguided. Good work. That concludes all of the basics for operating this train. In this training module, you will be taken through the operation of a BR-185.2 electric locomotive. During this brief introduction, you will cover the critical driving controls and freight operations. When you're ready, climb aboard to get started. Take a seat in the driver's position. This is where you will be spending most of your time. For this introduction, you will be driving the locomotive a short distance and coupling to a short freight train. To activate the control, Set reverser. This controls the direction of travel. Set the headlights to let others around us know this locomotive is operational. The locomotive is now ready to go. Use the throttle to apply some power to get moving. Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed and reduce motor stress and maintenance requirements. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force using the train brake. This train is part of the Bombardier Trax family, a modular platform of diesel and electric locomotives that come in both passenger and freight variations. More than 1,800 locomotives of this family have been sold throughout Europe and are now in use in 17 different countries. The BR-185.2, part of the Trax 2 family, is known for the noticeable scale it plays when accelerating from 0 to 16 kilometers per hour. This locomotive can produce 5,600 kilowatts and has a maximum operational speed of 140 kilometers per hour. freight wagons are behind you. Change direction with the reverser, then change the junction indicated, either by walking over to it or using the map. The junction is correctly aligned, and you can now couple up to the freight. Come to a stop once your locomotive gently touches the wagons. You can couple and uncouple from either an external camera or on foot. Let's connect the formation using the external camera. Now connect the locomotive to the freight. Nice work! Change direction with the reverser and move the train forward into the indicated siding. You can couple and uncouple from either an external camera or on foot. Uncouple from the wagons on foot this time. That's it for this introduction. Well done.
In this training module, you'll be learning how to drive a BR Class 801 electric multiple unit. During this brief introduction, you will be taken through the critical driving controls and performing passenger operations. When you are ready, climb aboard. Take a seat in the driver's position so that you can prepare the train for service. For this introduction, you'll be completing a full loop of the circuit and performing passenger operations when you reach the next stop. Prepare the train for departure. To unlock the control desk, you'll need to insert and set the master key. The reverser is used to determine the direction of travel. Set the headlights, as this will let others around you know that this train is operational.
Nay. Not much.
To begin loading passengers, you'll need to open the passenger doors. It's time to depart. Close the passenger doors. This train features a combined power and brake handle. So, to get the train moving, move the handle into the power range. Coast. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force by moving the power handle into the braking range. First introduced in September 2019, the Class 801s were built as a replacement for the aging Intercity 125 and 225 sets, which were the primary trains used on the East Coast Main Line at the time. The Class 801 fleet were designed as purely electric multiple units. However, they feature a single 560 kilowatt diesel engine fitted to one of the coaches for emergency use. This 9-car variant of the class has a maximum power output of over 4,500 kilowatts and has a maximum operating speed of 124 miles per hour. You're now approaching the station, so prepare to slow down the train. Use the power handle to apply some braking force to bring the train to a gentle stop in the indicated position. Now that the train has stopped, you can open the passenger doors. Good work. That concludes all the basics of operating this train. In this training module, you'll be taken through the operation of this Class 66 locomotive. During this brief introduction, you'll be covering the critical driving controls and freight operations. When you're ready, climb aboard to get started. You need to insert the reverser first, and then you can move it forwards to set the direction of travel. Set the headlights to let others around us know this train is operational. The direct brake has 3 positions: apply, hold, and release. They directly affect the brake cylinder pressure, shown on the left-hand side of the desk, or on your HUD under the BC entry. While in the apply state, the brake cylinder or BC gauge will fill, meaning an increasing amount of braking force is being applied. Move the handle to the hold position to maintain the same level of braking force, and back to the release position to reduce or release the braking force. The direct brake is used to apply the brakes only on your locomotive, and is faster to apply and release than the main brakes. If you're only running as a light locomotive, as you are now, it's usually quicker to just use these brakes. The brakes on this locomotive require us to hold the brake handle in the release position. You can monitor the state of the brakes using the larger brake pipe control gauge in the centre. Keep the brake control in release until you can see the brake pipe control needles are reading 5 bar. This will release the brakes fully. Now that the brake pipe control is at 5 bar, the brakes will fully release. Watch the brake cylinder or BC gauge to see it gradually reduce to 0, which tells you that the brakes are now fully released and you can move the train. As you apply power, notice the amp bar rising. This is the amount of power being fed into the traction motors. Try to keep this out of the red, as it means you're overpowering the motors and could damage them. Built in London, Ontario, Canada by EMD, the British Rail Class 66 is a 6-axle diesel electric locomotive used primarily for freight operations in the UK. Introduced in 1998, the initial order of 250 locomotives was said to be the biggest single order of a locomotive since the era of steam trains. More than 500 Class 66 locomotives were built, with the final one being delivered in 2016. The Class 66 has earned the nickname Shed because of its shed-like pitched roof.
Too much brake.
freight wagons are behind you. Change direction with the reverser. Then change the indicated junction, either by walking over to it or using the map. The junction is correctly aligned and you can now couple up to the freight. Approach slowly and stop, just before the buffers. Don't forget to release the direct brake before you apply power. You can couple and uncouple from either an external camera or on foot. Connect the formation using the external camera. Now couple the locomotive to the freight wagons. Into the first-person camera. Nice work. Change direction with the reverser and move the train forward into the indicated siding. You can couple and uncouple from either an external camera or on foot. Uncouple from the wagons on foot this time. That concludes this training module.
Welcome to LA Union Station, located in Los Angeles, California. Approved in 1926 and opened in 1939, LA Union Station was designed to consolidate rail services from Union Pacific, Santa Fe, and Southern Pacific into one station owned by the city. There's a missing route map over there. Fix that while you're here. There are many more route tasks to discover. Make sure to apply the route maps, put up the anniversary banners, hang up the hats, and visit the hot dog stands. Clark Smith, your ship supervisor, would like to speak with you. The Antelope Valley Line runs for over 70 miles from the bustling heart of LA to Lancaster, the western tip of the Mojave Desert. The railroad along the Santa Clara River originally opened in 1876 and was operated by Southern Pacific as a connection to the national rail network. In 1979, due to falling demand, this line ceased operation. In 1990, the Los Angeles County Transportation Commission purchased the right-of-way from Southern Pacific. Passenger services as far as Santa Clarita began operation in 1992. When the Northridge earthquake hit in 1994, plans to extend the line north to Antelope Valley were expedited by over 10 years to aid relief efforts. U.S. Navy Seabees and a legion of workers from the LA County Public Works Department constructed stations in just a few days, rather than the 3 to 6 months they usually take. Passenger services started on this extension less than a week after the earthquake. Today, this important commuter line carries over 5,700 people in and out of LA each day. Run to the hills and experience the hefty power of modern American diesel. Tackle the tough terrain of Californian canyons with the Antelope Valley Line, between the sprawling Los Angeles cityscape and the desert bushes of Lancaster in almighty Metrolink traction. West Coast rails are yours to explore in Train Sim World, Antelope Valley Line. In this training module, you will be learning to operate this EMD F125 Spirit diesel locomotive. During this brief introduction, you will be taken through the critical driving controls and performing passenger operations. When you're ready to begin, climb aboard. Sit in the engineer's seat. You'll now go through the steps needed to take over this locomotive. You will need to set the generator field switch. This needs to be enabled for the locomotive to generate power. This locomotive requires the reverser handle to be inserted before operation. Switch the front headlights on. Regardless of the time of day or weather, all locomotives must have them. You'll need to set the brakes to the correct mode to allow them to be controlled by this cab. We can now begin loading. It is time to depart. Close the passenger doors. The reverser determines the direction of travel. The master controller controls both the throttle and dynamic brakes. Dynamic brakes use the locomotive's electric traction motors to generate resistance to reduce the wear of the brake pads. Apply a small amount of throttle. The automatic brakes are controlled with their own handle, but will blend the dynamic brakes in the air brakes. The air brakes will apply braking force to every car in this formation. Now, release the brakes. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, slow the train using the master controller's dynamic brake range. The EMD F125 is a passenger locomotive manufactured by Electromotive Diesel for the North American market. It's powered by a Caterpillar C127 20V20 diesel engine, rated at 4,700 horsepower, and is capable of speeds up to 125 miles per hour. When it launched in 2017, it was the first new passenger locomotive in North America in 15 years. To date, 40 have been produced, all of which were supplied to Metrolink. The F125 features a modern, streamlined body designed by Vossloh España. You are approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force using the automatic brake to bring the train to a gentle stop. Nice job. The train has safely come to a stop. You can now begin loading. Good work. That concludes all the basics of operating this train.
Hey guys, this is Bart6456 logging off. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and don't forget that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notifications to know when I go live next. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bart6456 out.